November 21, 2024. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on a 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. It was really whipsaw. In the pre-market, it looks like it was ranging. Then it had this big spike up. There was unemployment claims that came out right around 5:30 Pacific Standard, just about right here. But as you can see, clearly the rally already happened way early. So even though it caused this kind of a spike up, consolidation, and another sell-off, kind of weird little bounce, push up, another leg down, push up, another leg down, rally, consolidation, rally. And so this is kind of how I drew up the chart today. It was, I mean, there was a lot of these big swing legs that were just kind of moving. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to find very many entries to take advantage of these big moves. And overall, in general, even though the volume was pretty healthy, I wasn't able to find very many setups. So it looked like most of the price action was contained within the pre-market highs and the pre-market lows, which is roughly about 70, 65, 70 points. Then when it broke out toward, I don't know, toward half of the day, it stayed in this really, really slow, very, I wouldn't say tight, but just very boring 10-point range. And yeah, I didn't really find very many setups. So I'm going to go ahead. I took one trade today and I had an 8-point runner on it. I get into the trades right now, or actually get into the setups right now. So in the pre-market, things are just choppy. I did find this, not in real time, but I looked at it after the fact. It looked like it was a leg down, break of this green down channel, tested the low, so it looked like it's played out, pushed up on this orange up channel, break, tested the highs, then came back down for a second attempt, break, tested the lows. I saw this as a new high. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long triple test, decent signal bar. Signal bar itself is really big though. As you can see up here, it's 7.7, well, 7.75 points. So this is a really, really large bar, but the setup itself is decent. But it was in the pre-market. I'm not around to trade that. If this is in regular trading hours, I don't know that I would even take it as well. It's just because the risk profile is huge. But it would have been good enough to double that move because you would have gotten like, not double, but you would have gotten 1-for-1 risk reward. Then it sold off again, created the pre-market low, then pushed up really strongly in this orange up channel. Had a small breakout here, one attempt long, that creates a new high. It's a first entry long, second entry long. I saw this also. This is a decent signal bar. I like that it moved one tick below the previous. Then it closed at the high. So it's a first entry long pullback on the same candle here. It creates your signal bar and confirmation of the second entry long because it closed above this one. So this is one I may have considered. It is a 4-point candle, but there is enough room to get to the highs or get to the localized high before you have to worry about any potential resistance. So not only is it a 4-point candle though, you'd have to put your risk or your stop way down here. So it's going to add some more. But I saw it. I thought this was a decent setup. But again, this is in the pre-market, and I'm not around to trade that. So it pushes up, breaks with this orange up channel, tests, makes a new high, and hits this consolidation range. It's called consolidation opens, carries into the open. And I did see this as a new high. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long. I have a black arrow there because it's not an almost trade because I don't feel it's safe enough for a trade, but it's something I saw like at the open and I had a hunch about it. I said, wow, it's testing, it's clearly ranging. It's confirmed, a second touch now. Ideally you want 3 touches, so it's not a triple test unless you really, really count it down to the low end. But I didn't see it really quite as a triple test. But I did like this because it's a 2-point candle, 8 ticks. It's a first entry long pullback. It looks like there's enough oomph, enough momentum to push it back up, but didn't mark it, left it alone. I'm okay leaving it alone. It's also pretty early. It's the first minute of regular trading hours, so it is during the time of a lot of volatility. Price action will still work, but it just might be a little more, I would just say, really choppy. So kind of a hunch trade, kind of a saw something there, but didn't take it. Prices move and it breaks down and it starts moving down this green down channel. There's no clear way to enter this that I could see. Breaks out of the green channel, tests and makes a new low. So now I'm looking for potential correction or reversal. And we kind of hit this consolidation, choppy sideways action. And you can see these candles are each getting bigger and bigger. So it looks like it's starting to wedge out. It's hard to really know if it's going to break to the high side or to the low side. Pushes up, breaks out of this yellow up channel, makes a new high, hits this double top, comes back down, bounces. So this is where I draw the low of my trading range. It was, it could have been a little bit higher, but I like that it kind of fit pretty well here. And I put the high of the trading range here. So I'm expecting a move back up to the highs. Technically, I have a second entry long here. It's a new high, first entry long pullback, second entry long. But this is really kind of just part of the same move. So I kind of more likely just saw it as a first entry long because this is an inside bar. So I didn't really see it as second entry long, but it is bouncing off. I don't know, you can call it a triple test, multiple test. I really call it a double test because this is all grouped as one attempt, in my opinion. Second attempt, I mean, you could say it's one attempt down, maybe a second attempt right here, third attempt, but not, I don't feel confident enough to, really take this one as a touch and go push up. Pushes up, tests the high, and breaks out. I first saw that it was moving up on this purple up channel, and this is actually where I saw a failed second entry short. I thought it was a possible trade. So it's a new low. You get a first entry short, pullback, second entry short confirmed here. So it's a break of this purple up channel. This green up channel doesn't exist yet. And it comes back down and it looks like it's hitting a potential breakout pullback of this range. So it broke out, pullback, it touched the top of it, and it looks like it's rejecting. So the next candle is going to tell me if it's a failed second entry short, and it confirms a failed second entry short. It's a possible trade, but it's a little more aggressive because you're seeing the purple break, seeing the break of the purple up channel, and you're thinking a test of the high. There is enough room for a quick scalp. It's about 2 points to about 9 ticks, so a little bit more than 2 points. So you could have entered, but you had to be really quick and pretty confident on the read. So as it pushes up, I notice it breaks, tests the high twice, and it comes back down. This is where I start drawing this green up channel. So I like the trend line support. It was 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch. So it fits pretty well. High sides potentially here. I'm thinking the purple up channel isn't in play anymore. So I'm working on this green up channel now. Pushes up, breaks out. It starts moving down on this orange down channel. So it looks like it's kind of moving down on this orange down channel. And it creates a new high. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long, second entry longs continuing. I'm thinking there's potential second entry long failure because it is a strong push below the EMA. Now, ideally, this green up channel wants to test the high, but it's already pulled back almost a whole 50%, but it could still reverse back up. So when this candle forms, then I see, oh, okay, there was a failed second entry long here. There's a good signal bar. EMA is starting to act as resistance, and it's a break of this orange down channel. It potentially wants to test its low, but I was looking at it, I wasn't quick enough. I wasn't quite 100% sure of my read. If this signal bar had closed at low, then I think that would have made me more inclined to try to take this trade. So it starts pushing down, breaks out of this orange down channel, comes back down. So this orange down channel is continuing more. So that's where I draw this red down channel. Red down channel, also saw this as one big leg, so I drew this as a measured move. And I'm thinking there's going to be some kind of reaction at the second measured move. So it's a new high, it's first entry long pullback, second entry long. Second entry long is a terrible signal bar. You're not thinking of going long when you see this. Flashes up, hits this consolidation area. This is just noisy and hard for me to really figure out what's going on. Then it starts continuing down. The red down channel fits pretty well. There was kind of a trading range area here, or area of consolidation, but there's nothing really clear of what's going on. But it is obeying the red down channel pretty well. So it makes a new low on this candle. It's a first entry short, and that's kind of what you get. You get a second entry short here just barely, but if you try to sell on this doji, you're going to run into a potential support line here. That's what I was thinking. So I said, this isn't worth a trade because whether you have a breakout here or you're actually getting close, you're going to be selling into the lows. Granted, the downtrend is kind of already played out as well. And you're thinking, well, it's one leg down, push up. There could be a larger measured leg coming down. So I had something like this drawn as a potential one big leg here and then a second big leg. I've since deleted it because it just made the chart messy. And later I found out, yeah, I didn't really go all the way down to there, so I deleted it. So the prices continue moving. breaks, moves up on this green up channel. EMA is still acting as support. I have first entry short. Technically, I have a second entry short. We got this doji, and not too long ago, you had this other doji, so it's just nothing I really particularly like. Flushes or pushes up really strongly. I could not have anticipated this. There's no news item to tell you that this was going to happen. Pushes up really strongly. Unfortunately, there was no real way for me to see an entry here. I mean, you could say there was a first entry short, second entry short, second entry short failure, but when you're seeing this in real time, I'm not really thinking second entry short failure. This isn't a very convincing bar. By the time this one closes, the trade has been made because this could be a failed breakout, another move down, or it could continue upwards. Hard for me to know. Moves up, hits a high, comes back down, first entry long, pull back. Technically, I have a second entry long here, but nothing here was a good indication to go long or prepare order to go long. Was break, test a low of the green, push up, it's coming back down. It's kind of ill-fitting in this orange down channel. I thought, okay, maybe there's a measured leg here because at one point I also drew something closer to this as one leg, but I since deleted it because it looked messy. And I figured it was maybe moving down on this orange down channel. This orange down channel fits, but it doesn't fit the downside too well. So I was a little weary of trusting it. And then it kind of hits this consolidation area, starts reversing back up. There's no clean second entries that I could see. Technically, I have a new low here. First entry short, second entry short. This signal bar is not telling me to go short. Then it fails. But by the time this second entry short failure occurs, it's running close to the EMA. So again, nothing here indicating or motivating me to really take a trade. Nothing attractive there. Prices move. Technically, I have another second entry short. It's just choppy now. Prices move up, hits this consolidation area. So it looks like it's push up, down, consolidation area, push up, another consolidation area, push up, hits another consolidation area. By the time this forms and pushes up again, I'm just kind of watching prices move. I'm just not really confident on what's really going on. He's pushing up. I draw this red up channel. It doesn't fit the best, but it does kind of capture what's going on. Like there's a big leg up. This is another hunch trade that I saw. It's a new high, first entry long. Technically, I have a second entry long, but I saw this as a potential triple test. I like that it bounced off the EMA. It's just the wrong color candle, though. And it pushes up, and it would have been a good scalp, but I think if I took this trade, I wouldn't really have a good explanation or justification of why I wanted to take this trade. And more importantly, is it would have rewarded me for a bad behavior. And I'm trying to avoid those because I don't want to reinforce bad behaviors. It kind of sets in a gambling mentality for me. And if I lost on it, I know I would have been beating myself up, super angry. That kind of pushes me closer to becoming or starting to trade on tilt, which I also really want to avoid. Pushes down, breaks out, fail breakout, comes up. It's just in this consolidation. There's no clean trade. This is kind of like a quick 6-point range, 6-point consolidation area. Nothing particularly enticing. Pushes up on this yellow up channel, starts coming down. There's a first entry long. Technically, you have a second entry long here. You have a higher low here, but I saw this one leg down. This got a little messy. So it's more like this. So I didn't really quite see a break. I saw this a one leg down. And this is actually where I take my one and only trade. So this is going to take a little bit of explaining because I'm watching this and I'm staring at this. I'm seeing this big push up on this red up channel. Clearly, I'm in a range. So I'm not really trending any which way. It's just noisy. But clearly, I'm in a range. So I saw this break of this red up channel, right? And it tests and it tests 2 attempts up, makes a new high, but then it doesn't really reverse. It doesn't really continue. It just consolidates. So it's a break of the red channel, it consolidates. Then it makes a second leg up, a lot smaller than the red one. The red one is like, I think it's played out on a larger time frame. This yellow one was an attempt to test the highs of this red one, even though it kind of did it right here. So it's one leg up, 2 legs down, consolidation, another leg up. So I'm thinking the uptrend is potentially played out. Yellow up channel has a break on this green down channel. This green down channel retraced more than 50% of this. So I'm not really sure it's going to test the highs of this yellow up channel anymore. Nevertheless, there's a break of this green up channel. It makes one attempt up, pull back, second attempt up, makes it on two measured legs from here to here, pull back from here to here. So I'm thinking this uptrend attempt to test the highs of this yellow has played out. So what's telling me is I think there's going to be one leg down, two attempts up, a second leg down, potentially moving back down because I'm thinking this uptrend here has potentially been exhausted. So sellers are potentially walking in now. So I saw this as a first entry short, second entry short. I don't like the signal bar. Technically, this was the original signal bar. This made a mirror image, not a mirror image, but made a same size candle, but it's reversed this one. So I wanted to see what happens on the trigger bar. Trigger bar breaks below. I kind of like this because I saw, okay, two attempts up, measured moves been made. There's enough room for a quick scalp. So here, when this opens, it pushes up and it starts moving down. As soon as it broke below this candle, this red one here, I said, I want to try to enter this trade, but I want to enter with a little bit of risk management. So I entered one tick below these two guys, which is where I got filled. And my stop is one tick above here. This candle here is 9 ticks. So I was managing a little more manageable, like 10, 11 tick risk. I got entered. I got filled on a limit order, flush down, it fills my my profit target. So that's where I take off the bulk of my contracts, and my runner moves from here to down here minus 1 tick. So I'm sitting here with my runner. It flashes down. I think I like that. I like that because I was thinking it's probably going to bounce here. So I actually moved my runner to 1 tick above this guy. So it's slightly above my profit target of my bulk contract. Flushes down. So I don't want to risk giving anything back. But I do want to give it some room to breathe. So I move it 1 tick above this guy. Flushes down. I said, okay, moved it down. To be honest, when this flashed up, I wasn't sure if it's going to move up, so I kept it here. Then when I saw this one flash down, I moved it to 1 tick above this double bar. Then I saw it kept going down, but it's losing. I mean, it looks like it's kind of pushing down further. There's some good. I mean, there was an attempt to, open here, push up, but then it came back down. So I moved it 1 tick here. And then I got stopped out on this candle. As you can see, 2 dojis later, if I had it even higher, like 1 tick above here, to give it even more breathing room above this double bar, I would have gotten taken out here. But I was happy with my 1 tick above the previous all the way down. So I was able to get an 8-point runner. And after the 8-point runner, I mean, the 8-point runner was a pretty good run, good profits for the day. So I wasn't too inclined to try to be aggressive now. Almost like I was calling it a day mentally because I said, okay, well, just be super careful. There's a really good runner trade. Just, don't be too greedy. So then prices continue moving. I thought it was kind of in this channel, but it didn't fit quite well, so I wasn't trusting it. Break of this green up channel tested the high, but this is just noisy. It's hard to really read this. You have a second entry long here, but other than a potential support bounce here, you don't really have a triple test. It continues moving. It's a first entry short. You have another second entry short right here, but it's new low, first entry short, second entry short, but these candles are just like, it's clearly inching up. Maybe I'm at the top of the range. This is an inside bar to this, even though it's a good signal bar. I'm just not that keen on it. The follow-up trigger bar, it just kind of left me a little cautious. I didn't really like that it was green, and it was close to the EMA. In real time, I drew this trend line going up, so I was thinking there's a potential bounce. It did bounce. The top of the trend channel was actually up here, but I dragged it up to here when this had a breakthrough and violated the resistance. Pushes up, hits this consolidation area. It's kind of repeating what it did before, which was this up consolidation, up consolidation, up consolidation. So I'm just kind of patiently waiting because they're all far from the EMA, no real key entry point. It broke through the pre-market high. Not really sure what to do, so I'm just doing the best I can of sitting on my hands. Creates a new high. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long. I actually had this trend, I had this trading range a little higher. So I saw it as a triple test. I saw first entry long, second entry long, triple test. And I thought this was a possible trade. Decent green signal bar, potentially enough for a quick scalp. Break of this green down channel is tested low. So I thought this was a possible trade. Looks like I would have gotten a fill and probably gotten, I would have gotten the scalp, but likely not have gotten a runner off of it. Again, it hits this consolidation area, then it moves up again, pushes down. You have a first entry long. Technically, you have a second entry long here. It's not the cleanest signal bar. So I do see a new low here. First entry short, second entry short, second entry short confirmed. First entry short, second entry short, second entry short, potentially about to fail. Why do I say that? Because I saw this as a new high. First entry long, pullback, second entry long, potential higher low, confirming the second entry long. Even though this yellow up channel has broken and tested the highs, could be one attempt down, two legs up, maybe another. This could actually be seen as one big leg, something like this. But I wasn't too sure. Well, I did like the signal bar, but I wasn't too sure. I like the close above the EMA, but it could also tick one tick up and then continue back down. It could be one leg, two attempts up, and then a second leg. So I wasn't too sure. It flashes up and it kept going. So it's a possible trade. I think it was a little more aggressive, a little ambiguous for me though. Prices continue moving. It hits this top of the potential range, but then it falls into the sub trading range. Things are just very tight trading. This is from here to here is only about 10 points, a little less than 10. So it's just and these candles are rather large. So it's giving me pause. It's not trending clean. And even the trading range isn't confirming too nicely. So I kind of almost there, almost not there, just a little choppy. Is a new high. You only have first entry long here. Technically, you have a second entry long here, break of the yellow up channel, push down, potentially a fail breakout if you trust this range. It's moving back into range, so it's like first entry short. Technically, you have a second entry short, break of this green up channel. So this trading range, if you're playing range rules, it's a little difficult to play because you're making lower highs every time and lower lows every time. But then it does some strange, not strange, but it does price action that's a little hard to follow because it moves right back up. So I'm just sitting on my hands. It's a new high. It's a first entry long, second entry long. I would not have thought to go long on this ugly looking signal bar, which is it breaks out of this trading range and makes new highs now. So I'm thinking there's a potential fail breakout here, another pullback into the range. The EMA isn't really quite sideways anymore. It's starting to turn bullish. So I'm looking for reasons to go bullish, but I would need really good setup right at the EMA. And you don't quite get that because these are just really neutral candles. It's a first entry long, second entry long, but nothing here is telling me to go long. This signal bar is an inside bar. Then it flashes down. It's just getting really choppy. Pulls back into range now. I'm wondering if this support's going to hold. Potentially see a bounce, but here it was already choppy. One leg down, potentially a second leg down. Just watching and waiting. Didn't even quite reach it, and it starts reversing back up. Now I'm wondering if the EMA is actually in play. And then kind of comes back down, hits it, has a fail breakout, and then continues down. But then by that time, this is already the last 10 minutes, and it was just nothing really fruitful looked like it was going to show up. So I'm just happy that I got the one trade that I did get with a really, really decent runner. Runners, in my experience, don't really play out very often. So when they do and they run like that, it's pretty nice. So it's kind of how I saw the charts today. Not very many setups, really, really whippy action. Good volume though, and just one trade. So hopefully that was helpful.